So welcome everyone. Looks like on a lot of these, internet seems to be running a little slow, so I apologize if there is a delay. Let's go ahead and if you can see, go ahead and just say hello. Make sure. Okay, it looks like via social media you all can see me. So hello, and so happy to be here. Make sure I'm going to refresh the screen. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, welcome. Today we are talking about multi-purposing content. So, who this is for, if you are a content creator, maybe you don't identify as content creator, but maybe you're a business owner, a marketing person, there can be multiple roles within that. Or if you are a speaker, if you are looking to get your business out there and you have been creating content or thinking about creating content, this is relevant for all of you. All right. So, when I talk about content creation, if you are creating social media posts, if you're creating blog posts or articles, if you are creating videos, any different types of these media forms, even podcasts are, becoming more and more popular. These are different forms that your content can be created in. Now, the typical ones that we see a lot of is the blog post article, the social media post, the video of some sort where it's live or YouTube or something along that nature. And then, of course, we also have this audio version as well now. But if we look at the terms as, oh my gosh, I need to create a social media post every day for the whole month, going, what in the world am I going to be talking about? Creating it something new and something fresh. And so, what will happen a lot for a lot of business owners, solopreneurs, people who are trying to put out there content that will allow them to communicate to their audience what it is they do and how it is that they can help them. Now, I say that because some content creators aren't doing that. They are not saying what it is I do and how I can help them. And that, first and foremost, should be your foundation if you are a service provider. And that can be as far as, I want to speak, I have a book, I have a podcast that I want to promote. I just want people to see me as the expert in my industry. What we're not talking about here is the people who are just creating content based on whatever the trends are because they want to get as many views so that they can hit the algorithm so social media will pay them for having so many views. We're not talking about those people. All right. We're talking about the career oriented, business minded entrepreneur. So ultimately, please write this down. You need to constantly be communicating what it is you do and how you will help them. Now, does that mean that every single piece of content that you create is that in itself? No. But if you are creating a post every day, an article once a week, whatever that might be, at least weekly, that needs to be communicated. And it needs to be communicated often. We never want to assume that people know what we do, they know who we are, they know how we can help them. Often, I see a lot of content creators, they're showing up and they just want to add value, add value, add value. That doesn't always position us to be the expert in something. What that can do is it can position us as an expert, but it can position us as, that person makes me feel good. And that is one quality. So we're going to break down some of these qualities. However, If you just make people feel good and people follow you, but they don't know how to work with you or that you're offering anything to work with them, then they just see you as content. They just see you as a person that has knowledge. And so, one thing within the marketing aspect of it is that we do need to communicate to them how we can work together. So again, that comes that second aspect of what it would be like to work with me, right? So all these different qualities that we want to depict. We cannot assume that they will just figure that out, right? So within communication, and yes, I've worked as a communication advisor several times within the corporate world, and how we communicate and ensuring that people have received the message. Now, also as the CEO and co-founder of the Woe Network, one thing that we've noticed too is how, because we're in this direct relationship, how when we post in our Facebook group, how when we send a newsletter, how when we have the blog post, that is not enough communication because not everyone is seeing that because there's algorithms that get hit. It is also where are they hanging out and what are they doing? That's why, again, in a business, we need to have focus groups. We need to be testing this out because you could be spending all of your time on social media posts and people aren't seeing all of them. Maybe they're not seeing any of them. And so then your social media is sitting over here that you've spent all this time on and no one's seeing it. And so this is why today I want to talk to you about multi-purposed content because we cannot please don't do this. Make one social media post that you poured your heart into and then you just scratched it, went to the next one, scratched it, went to the next one. And I'm going to give you some options in how to approach this as well. So, without diving into my full 4-hour workshop lecture, I do want to explain the main purpose of today's talk. I really hope that I can give you some walkaway tips to start implementing right away. Now, if you are in the Woe Network, I will be going live later today as well and teaching a mini condensed workshop on how to write articles that people actually want to read. So that's something that you might want to tune into as well. I will also be hosting that workshop aside from that. So today, you've got social media posts, you've got video options, and then articles. These are the three ones that we're going to talk about specifically today. All right. Now, the way that I prefer this, and this does not mean this has to be the way that you do it. So I'm going to show you options. I love to write an article. So that article can be on LinkedIn. It can be on my blog on my website. And then I also post that on my WordPress blog as well. So I will write one blog and I will put it in all three of these locations so that it increases the SEO, the search engine optimization. It increases the likelihood that someone sees it. Now, within that blog post, I'm going to come back and I'm going to keep fluffing it. It's not a professional word, but it's the word that I use. I'm going to keep fluffing it and adding to it and making it more robust by then pulling out pieces of that article or blog that can be translated into social media posts. Now, as I'm writing the blog, I am keeping this in mind. So there might be this blog, let's say the last one that I did was writing capability statements. Why you need a capability statement would be a blog or would be a social media post. 5 tips to create your capability statement could be a social media post. And so I have that chunked into sections so that I can prepare my social media posts while I'm creating, we're going to call it a blog article. which will allow me then, after it's written, I can post it right away. That content is going ahead and getting out. Then I'm creating the graphic for the first part on why you need the capability statement. Going back, I'm creating that graphic. I'm pulling that text out, and it's not going to be exactly the same. It could be. But you could also tweak it so that it's more easy social media read. And then on that post, I can put the link to the article, which is driving them to read more on my article and not just sending them to someone else's article as the reference. Now I'm sending them back to my content. Now, ideally, I want to send them to my blog post that is on my website so that they're going to my website and they can see all of my stuff. They can find my links to follow me on social media. Okay. Now, additionally, we can always speak far more. Well, at least I can. I don't want to judge. I know I can. I can talk way more, elaborate more on that topic in a video. And so I could have the option of going live and talking about the one social media post and group it there, or I could talk about the whole thing depending on your time availability for the week. And that will then allow me, again, one article that I wrote has now turned into at least 3 social media posts. I have the option of doing 1 to 3 videos. And now I will then download that live, or like I love StreamYard, where I can download that StreamYard and upload it to YouTube, or in my case, I'm broadcasting it to YouTube. Now I can hyperlink that video into that article as well, so that if someone read the article and they want to continue to know more, it's now leading them to the video option. Now, from a learning and development standpoint, in creating multiple ways for people to view content, consume content, I'm allowing that to be, hey, maybe it's a person that's just scrolling and they see the social media post and that's enough for them to inspire them. Maybe they want to read more. Maybe they want to view more. Now, while I'm doing all of this, I want to be developing relationships with the people who are liking, commenting, asking questions, and inviting them to do that, which then could lead me up to hosting a workshop on how to craft your capability statement, just going with the same theme. And the likelihood that people are to show up has increased, as well as now I have all of this warming content that has led to it. And so this would be repeatable content, evergreen content that I can continue to use. Now, for me, I really like to work within quarters and within months and seasons, essentially, so that if this has been a good season to talk about that, which I find in this season it is, because there tends to be a little bit of a slower movement within the business at this time of year. This is a great time of year to be refining or creating your capability statement. And I can reuse this content or repurpose it again next year. So that I want to continue within my business to find the right seasons that the right content fits into and continue to elaborate within that season to perfect my processes so that I have this way of doing that. So that way, let's say next year, when we're in November, December of 2024 and moving into 2025, maybe there's something new that has came out. Maybe there's a new way I want to tweak it, or some information I want to add, or some things that I've learned since then. I can then, one, repurpose that blog, write a new blog on newer content based on conversations that I have had. And I can also be learning throughout this process of my target audience what type of content they prefer. But if you leave yourself only in the article writing, then you're going to just be keep creating articles. So we want to allow ourselves to show up and multi-purpose that content that you're creating into various forms of media. This is how you will become the expert. This is how you will be seen as the expert. And this is how you can create valuable content that is able for multiple people to consume. All right. So I hope this was helpful. Please, if you have any questions, send me a DM with that question. If you have an idea and you just want to run it past me, please send me a DM. If you love this, if you're liking this, if this is helpful, please drop some comments because comments will help boost the algorithm so that more people see this content. All right. So thank you for viewing today. I'm Izzy Nally, and I do help people as a consultant. We also do done for you and done with you services within digital marketing, within communications. I also work within change management within organizations as well. And I'm utilizing my background in psychology, human behavior, as well as the MBA in marketing, my marketing experience. And then communications, yeah, it's something I love. I really do. And how we communicate through our marketing is so important to help change behavior because essentially we are wanting people to make a change by hiring or working with us. All right, I will see you later.